start doing the 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Start learning.
Yeah, which was...
Hi folks, welcome to HUGHROCKO Interviews on Location. Tonight we're with Paul Reay, bass player, guitarist, teacher, weightlifter, lots of things like that. So Paul, you want to tell me when you actually started playing music?
I'm very young. I probably started a recorder in school when I was about 6 or 7, which was pretty nasty. I actually started playing guitar when I was about 8 or 9.
Yeah.
But I didn't really... I think it was like the music teacher in school must have gone on a guitar course.
Yeah.
And I said, well, who wants to learn guitar? And then all these little kids said, oh yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, not knowing what was involved. So I got a little half-size acoustic. But I had a few lessons and didn't do much more with it. And then maybe I started playing trombone when I was 11 in the Silver Band in North Wales. I wasn't much good at that, but that was good fun. Kind of that classical world to a degree.
Yeah.
And then I probably started playing bass, probably when I wanted to do music when I was 14.
14.
Yeah, I started having lessons in North Wales, in Mould, from a guy called Lars Madigan. He taught the guy in Coldplay. Okay. It was just luck that he had this guitar player. I think he went to Berkeley, the place in California, and he happened to teach above Back Alley, which is the guitar shop in Mould.
Okay.
And just lucky that when I wanted lessons, that was where he went, and he kind of taught me how to play properly. Rather than just going, hey, this is smoke on the water.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
The teacher that I normally had was ill one night, because he used to have bass lessons with a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And then so Lars took us, and he's like, because well, what can you do? And what can I do? We couldn't even train.
Yeah,
we had to tune the bass guitars,
but
the guy that was teaching us was like, well, that's fine. We're just going to do little tunes. And Lars was like, right, let's start doing the 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Start learning.
Yeah, which was kind of mindless.
Yeah, well it is, but
I can immediately see the benefit of doing that. Yeah, I can actually start using my fingers. I can barely do it now. But that's alright, okay, well I'm going to stick with Lars. And he taught me, right, okay, let's do scales, let's get our technique going right, rather than concentrating on songs. Yeah. So now that I teach music, that's kind of what we do as well. I might do a song at the end of the lesson. Yeah. The lesson is about technique and actually playing something, rather than doing little tunes. Every guitar teacher is different.
Well, they are, yeah.
But things that Lars told me, I guess, about the way to play, put me in good stead for being able to play anything, rather than just, right, you can play into Sandman and that's it. Yeah,
well,
there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that, no, but there is a lot of people that could just, I've talked about that before, they play metal, and they didn't play anything else. And some metal players don't have to play chords either, they play the bar chords, as you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big problem, I think, with a lot of musicians that I teach as well when they're in school. It's like, well, I just want to learn the specific song, let's say it's by Ed Sheeran. It's like, well, okay, well, you probably also need to learn D minor as well, just in case it comes up.
Because it comes up someplace,
Yeah, sure. So you can play any song. The same thing if you're doing melodies, and it's like, well, let's learn the scale behind the melody, and then you can play any melody within that scale, rather than just that one melody.
That's right.
They don't want to hear that, but I make them do it anyway.
You make them do it.
Yeah, because I know, right?
So that you're just trying to make them a better player.
That's my job.
Musician. Yeah, and definitely.
So it's a struggle to get them to know that, but you know.
Yeah, because when you're a kid, everybody just wants to play where they want to play. Oh, I like that. I want to play that. Yeah. And you as a teacher's got to go, playing this.
Well, you've got to have a part of that.
Yeah.
I think that it's that thing where, I mean, I hear stories about other teachers saying, and this is maybe classical players say, right, you must get your scales right before you start doing tunes. And I think as a guitar player or a guitar teacher and a bass teacher, it's like, yes, that's a big part of what you do, but if it's not fun for the client, in which case you're a 9-year-old pupil, then they're going to quit. And also they're not going to play. No. Because some kids will immediately say, right, I understand that I've got to learn scales, and they'll enjoy playing scales and won't enjoy it, but they'll understand that it's important. Other kids they don't want to do it. It's like, well, okay, well, you've got to do it because this is the way the lesson's going to go. But they'll practice the melody. It's like, well, we've got to do both. Yeah. So eventually, you get it through to they're a customer at the end of the day. You've got to kind of please the customer. Yeah. And to a certain degree, otherwise you lose it. And they go, oh, we don't want lessons anymore. It's boring. Okay. Yeah. But anyway.
So what was your first band? you go on?
So I think it was probably when I was in school, just a group of mates, and we were, I guess, playing covers. Kind of probably playing Enter Sandman and Smells Like Teen Spirit, you know, because they were like our heroes.
That's right,
Nirvana and Metallica.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what we wanted to be, and I think it was all kind of, the internet didn't exist then as it does now.
No.
So a lot of it came from guitar books that you buy.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So from Cherry Lane Publishing and
And
stuff.
if you didn't get that, you just had to sort of guess.
Yeah, you try and use your ear or learn from someone
Oh,
else.
why is he doing that?
And things like Guitar World, Guitar Techniques, the magazines were really big because they print the tablature of whatever song was. Yeah, and then we'd all photocopy it and try and learn it.
Yeah.
And usually it was way too difficult. Because I mean, Megadeth's kind of hard anyway, but especially when you're just starting out.
Yeah.
What's
going on? And Dave V.I. spider chords.
Yeah, they're just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's like, what?
But we wanted to do it, so we put our time in, and gradually we get better. And it was also that competition, competing with our friends, going, right, I've got to come, like, I don't know, playing one for the first time.
Yeah.
Which I was like, wow, we love the song, and getting it right, we're like, wow, this is wonderful that we've got it, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, this is such a deep, meaningful song, and now we're getting to finally play it. And it's like, well, this is wonderful. We're getting to the songs that, there's that thing when I'm a teacher, I see it as well, that some people are always going to be musical and just love music.
Yeah.
I think that when people, oftentimes when they, I guess, hit puberty, 13, 14, they kind of get into musical, they don't.
Yeah.
And I think the week has passed in the next 20 years when I haven't played Master of Puppets, the whole album, or, you know, gone jam through it because it had that much of an effect on me. And it's, I guess, I don't know, my parents as well weren't musical, but they paid for my guitar lessons or bass lessons. Yeah. But they must have got sick of hearing that the album played again and again and again.
It goes again.
The guy I live in a flat, and the guy downstairs must hate it as well, because suddenly I'll be like, I've never heard this Pucifer song, or I've never heard this Perfect Circle song, or I've heard it, and it's suddenly there's something in it which has just clicked with me.
Clicked to you.
Like this week, I've played this song called The Remedy by Pucifer. Yeah. It must be, I probably played it 10 times today. Poor guy.
There you go.
Well, he'll get to like it too. Eventually.
You will.
Yeah, but it still happens now.
When I listen to it, so does he.
Yeah, but it's the same thing as when I was 14. So I found that bit of beauty, that bit of magic in a song. I'm like, oh, that's fantastic. I've got to hear it again and again and again.
Again.
Yeah. So it's wonderful that there's still music out there that can do that, and still does it for me by whoever. That one moment of beauty, or one moment of, wow, that's something really special.
And it could be someone you would expect as well. You go, wow. Don't really like them, but they've done this.
Absolutely.
And it comes and hits you.
Yeah, it doesn't matter the genre or who it is. I get to teach a lot of Ed Sheeran, and
Ed.
I don't think I've ever actually put Ed Sheeran on at all. But that said, there's the Icy Fire, the one he did for The Hobbit.
Not sure.
But the guitar intro is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like this, like a little hammer-on pull-off thing, which
It's great.
Fantastic.
The
rest of the song I can kind of live without. But those like 4 bars, wonderful. Really
wonderful.
liked it.
You just say, oh, I like that.
Yeah. But like I was teaching Ed Sheeran again today, and I don't know, it's not my thing, but hey, it's guitar.
It seems to be the end thing at the moment.
Absolutely, and if the kids, students are into it, like, I want to do like Perfect by Ed Sheeran or whatever, wonderful. Yeah, because he's a great guitar player.
Yes, well, the first time I ever saw him was at Glastonbury in the small tent.
Yeah, okay.
And he done that, what's the song called? Was it Don't Need You, You Need Me, Man? That one. Don't Need You, You Need Me, Man. And he was playing and I was like, wow, what is that? And it was different.
Yeah.
So that's, caught the ears. Was like,
oh, fantastic. That's what we need to do as a musician.
Yeah,
There's a reason that he sold these millions of records.
Oh,
not just because...
it's not because he's ginger. It's definitely something. He's definitely talented.
But he's resonating with the students who are like 11, 12, 13 years old, which is wonderful. Yeah. It's like Adele does as well.
And now he's just brought out a guitar line as well.
Okay.
I've seen that at NAMM. I was watching a few NAMM videos and Ed was there. I can't remember what the guitarist does. The guitar maker has got together with Ed, and they're bringing out decent guitars for kids to buy.
Good.
Yeah, if you go on YouTube and look at NAMM, put Ed Sheeran this year, you'll see it.
No, it's
really good, and he was there playing. Yeah.
I mean, I say that's one of the things I struggle with, I think, in modern day music, in that when I was 14 or 15, I wanted to be Metallica, I wanted to be Megadeth.
Yeah.
And it just so happens you have these musicians who are really good, apart from maybe Kurt. No, he's good. I think he's just really lazy, and but
he looks cool.
yeah, he's good.
His guitars are cool.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. This is a whole different conversation, really, about Kirk.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, for me, it's like, well, the bass playing is really good, so you kind of get lucky in that respect, because you think, well, the guy that I want to be like, which is Cliff Burton,
Cliff
happens to be this really immense, fantastic, hard-working and bass player. Which, if you're learning his songs, therefore it challenges you as well. Where if it was really easy, then it's maybe you're just playing 3 or 4 notes. Absolutely.
Cliff was definitely not like that.
Yeah. So
especially when it was the bell tone. He had the phaser on and whatever it was else.
Yeah, I mean they wrote that in the studio.
Brilliant, man.
And it's that thing where they need an extra song, and they thought, well, I mean, I think I'm not sure. I think that was already something he'd done in Trauma, which was his previous band to Metallica, but I'm hazing it. But they kind of managed to turn it into, obviously, one of the songs which they play really regular.
Yeah, I think that's the very first Metallica song I played. I think it was like, hey,
No, it's cool.
Great song.
I say it's in rock school. I think it's grade 4. It's a grade 4 piece, which is great because I'm teaching it to students now. Not that I don't remember it the first time it came out. I was too young, but I'm a bit disappointed that obviously they're liking Ed Sheeran rather than the Metallica of today.
Oh yeah.
Which is perhaps, I don't know, maybe where the record industry, the music is now, because it's all for free and so forth. It's very different. But there are still some really good bands out there.
Oh,
but it's the kids.
There is a lot of good bands.
It's the kids hearing them, which is the thing.
That's the point, because they're not going to get past, like, the disrespect to Ed, or Katy Perry, or Adele. And, there's all that. And others kind of thing.
Well, I remember when I was a
or
kid.
Little Mix or something, because that's just what grabs them,
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. And
I mean, Little Mix is probably the equivalent to Blondie back in the day, but they had players behind them, Because remember the way Debbie Harry used to dress, and that's sort of like the way Little Mix does now.
Oh, yeah.
Although they're all singers.
Sure.
Because Debbie was off the shoulders and a bit raunchy, which I liked. Hey, back in the day she was
especially
cool.
If you're a teenage boy,
Yeah, well, I was. I was supposed to sit in front of the TV and my dad would change it. Like, oi! When you pay the bills, you can...
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, getting back to you. So, your other bands that you were in, you still talked about your school?
Well, I mean, I've worked as a trying to be a rock star since I was a kid, really.
Yeah.
Because that's what you dream about doing. People dream about playing for Liverpool FC or being a famous model, and I wanted to be a rock star. I wanted to be Cliff Burton. I wanted to be the bass player in Metallica. Which would be cool, right? So that was my influence, and therefore it means that that's the goal that you aim for, and you practice. I used to practice hours and hours every day. I don't have time for that anymore, unfortunately. But I always wanted to be a musician.
Yeah.
Although it's also, the thing is about not necessarily sitting in the studio writing great riffs. My thing was being on stage and showing.
Yeah, just being on stage.
Yeah. Because it's part of the performance. As I always say to the kids, well, I'm too scared to go on stage. And it's great being on stage and showing off. If we didn't have any show-offs, then we wouldn't have any actors, we wouldn't have any musicians, we wouldn't have, we had artists who would just stay in their room and not try and sell anything because people might see me. It's like, well, it's okay to show off.
Yeah, definitely.
That's part of the reason that I'm a teacher as well. I'm in front of people saying, hey, check this out, this is fun, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't get enough attention from my mum when I was young. Maybe that was it.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe that's all.
But yeah, so it's wanting to be, luckily in a band where the bass playing was pretty tough and challenging.
Yeah. And
that drives you, therefore, to, rather than maybe for me play football, I want to spend 2 hours a day playing bass and pretend that I was Jason Newsted, kind of wandering around the room and reading every interview about them like you would do a footballer.
Yeah.
About his influence and how much times he practices, where he's playing, the kind of equipment that he used, and it's like, well, I want to be that guy, and you have that hero figure. It was Cliff, and he was already dead by the time I got into music, I think. But so I was lucky in that respect.
Now they've got Robert.
Yeah.
He's
cool.
Some player.
Yeah.
His son's great as well.
Did he
played with Corn for a while.
Yeah, sure.
I was like, wow. He's just like his father. He's not as well. He throws it around, but he's copied his dad. His dad said he's better than him. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Can you get better than Robert?
Yeah.
I mean, how you throw it around, how you throws it around and keeps playing.
It's all cool. It's all part of the show,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I really, you know, it's a.
I mean, he's a
visual
cool looking
thing.
dude, he's nuts, like Robert.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always going to be a Cliff fan, and I thought Jason used to brought a lot of energy to it.
Yeah.
I think that the problem is with Robert is that he's joined a band where it's too. Like when Cliff joined, he said, right,
Yeah.
I'll join, and they had to go and get him from, I think he was in San Francisco at the time.
Yeah.
Cliff was like, I'm not going to move to join
No.
you've got to come and be with me. And he was already doing like that, like,
Oh,
anesthesia as part of his set.
that.
He says, I want to play lead bass,
Yeah.
and you're not going to tell me what to do. I'm going to do what I want. And James and Lars therefore had to go, okay,
Yeah.
or let you do what you want to do. So it's very strong personality.
Yeah, well, aye.
But then when they got Jason in, I think he was very different and was kind of guy that was
Well,
going to be a lot shyer
I
and be told what
remember-
to do. But then I think that Rob's the same. He comes out with great riffs, and James goes, "Oh, I'll do it my way."
Yeah.
Like, oh.
But I remember them talking about the Black album and saying that it would never got written if Cliff was still alive.
Sure.
Because even they went for that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. The Cliff was a lot harder. Although the Black album was great,
Yeah.
but that's what they were saying. We wouldn't have went this way because Cliff would have said, "Nah, it's just."
Yeah,
You know.
when it's something that's not going to
And
do.
that was that's just the way Cliff was.
Yeah, well, that's the way. Yeah, history goes.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But it's been. I mean, I've always wanted to be that kind of bass player in a band. I mean, anything like Cliff, but to kind of add in my own signature and own style,
Yeah.
which has worked, and I think hasn't worked sometimes as well.
Doesn't work.
Well, you're in a band. It's always a group of personalities,
Yeah.
and they get along or they don't. And when we're doing music, it's a very kind of intimate connection.
Mm-hmm.
And when you've got the bass player, I'm quite a laid-back kind of quiet guy, but when it comes to playing music, it's very different.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
well,
different,
why are
yeah,
you at
yeah.
the front? I'm like,
Cool.
well, because I want to be.
I
And
want
if
to
I'm just
be.
going to play four on a bar all the time, then that's no fun for me, and I'd rather watch paint dry.
Told her.
So, but that's an
Right,
issue when you've got a
yeah.
guitar player,
Yeah.
who's like, well, no, I want to be at the front all the time. So it's working out, which they have every right to do,
Yeah, yeah.
but it's just working out where you stand therefore as a musician within that band.
Mhm.
And sometimes I've made some interesting choices. And
Yeah.
which is cool.
This is really cool.
Yeah.
So there you go. So there's us talked about your life now.
Yeah, well, pretty much. I mean, I guess.
Unless you want to go on.
Well, I gave up on music after a time. I think I got to about.
Did you?
Yeah, well,
I never knew
yeah,
that.
I stopped playing for a while.
Oh.
I
There
think
you go.
for a couple of years, just because. I mean, it was that thing. Which route do you want to go down? Because I
Yeah.
got a degree in economics and was going down more of a, should we say, stable way of working in business and so
Yeah.
forth. My heart was never in it, but hey, you want to get paid.
Yeah.
You want to pay your rent, and you want to go on holiday and
Get more gear.
get more gear.
You always do as a musician.
Yeah.
Even though you say, oh, I've got enough guitars, someone will come out a year later and you go, oh, I've got to have that.
Sure.
You know, it's
I don't
just-
know. I'm not a big gearhead. I've had the same bass guitars for quite a while.
You've had that one for a while. Right?
Yeah, I mean, but my status bass is the one I use. Is the 5-string.
Yeah.
Um,
But there will be one day when you see someone else, you go, whoa, I quite fancy that.
I do. It's just.
So there you are.
But yeah, with the banking thing, it was like having a more stable career, and then,
Yeah, I get that.
Also, it was playing in bands in the evening, and one of the problems is that I have an issue when I've worked. I don't know, you get up at 6.
Yeah. And then
Go over to Manchester, go to work, come home again, and you get home by about 6. And you think, right, rehearsals at 7, so you kind of rush around, get changed, get to rehearsal. And guys are like, oh, it's 7:30, it's 8 o'clock. Have you learnt the song? Are you ready to go? And people aren't ready. It's like, well, I'm putting a lot of effort into this.
Yeah.
And I think that, hey, I come out then too, where I'm
Yeah.
slack and not really committed. And I was like, listen, I can't do this anymore. After the day I've had at work,
Yeah, definitely.
I just want to come home and play video games and go drinking. I've had enough of trying to get the band thing going. It just got a bit tiresome.
Tiresome, yeah.
So I took a break for a while. But then I realised that I actually love
When
performing.
it's in the blood, it's there, isn't
Yeah.
it? It just drags you back.
Sure, and you don't have a choice. And it's like,
No, you don't. You don't.
seemingly, it's like, it is that drug, and I love playing and
Yeah.
I love performing. And,
It's a good drug, though.
yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, sometimes get paid for it as well, which is
There
great.
you go.
I
Sometimes
get
you get paid for it,
for
and you even get a clap sometimes. Hey,
Yeah,
we're
well, once or
brilliant,
twice
lads.
someone's gone, yeah, that was
Very
good.
much like
So yeah, it's been a wonderful time sort of playing. And now, of course, what happened was is that with the business thing, I'm like, a certain way you've got to be to succeed at business, and I got quite far in it to a certain degree with my career. I was like, I've had enough, I need a break for a while.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, right, what are we going to do next? And start with my first student, and second, and third, and now I have probably too many students. So
Too many?
Yeah, started Liverpool Music School.
Yeah, but it's good though. It must
Oh,
pays the rent and
I love my job.
pays the
I
rent.
love teaching the kids how to play guitar, and
Yeah,
older
definitely.
people too, people in their 70s and stuff. And it's like, wow, check this riff out. And also, it's a whole new world of music, because
Yeah.
it's like, let's do the Simon & Garfunkel song. And it's, I think the Beatles I always struggled with, because we're in Liverpool and I'm from Guildford. And
Guildford.
Yeah, I mean, you're born what you're born, right? I was in
Charles.
Guildford.
He's from Guildford.
Yeah, I know.
Little Africa, I don't know.
I mean, I think I left when I was 1 or so. Well, that was the
Yeah.
nearest hospital. But
It's
yeah, from my parents, I was working in London at the time. But the Beatles seemed to suffuse the very atmosphere when it came to Liverpool.
yeah.
Because I'm from North Wales and moved across, and I guess I got a bit sick of the Sgt. Pepper's Bistro and Lennon's Bar and McCartney's Bar and.
The cabin.
Yeah, and I guess it was just a bit over the top in terms of for someone who's kind of a metalhead.
Yeah, because it was. I think you only had that. What was that place called? You shut in there. I can't remember what it was called.
Oh, the Crazy House.
Was that? Yeah.
Yeah, I never really got into that. I went a few times.
Yeah.
Again, I don't have my youth here. The thing for me was the Tivoli in North Wales.
Oh yeah.
So they used a rock night on a Thursday, and it was £1 for a pint of for a bottle of Newcastle Brown
Yeah.
Ale. So we used to we get the bus there and walk home on a Thursday night.
Tivoli.
Yeah, the Tivoli. I played there.
Did
Tivoli
you?
in Buckley. Yeah, it was kind of a shame to see that it not gone down a hill, but it wasn't as popular as it was.
Yeah.
I played there with Into the Void, one of my Sabbath bands, because it was kind of like the mecca when I was a
Oh.
kid. But I'm not nostalgic about these things. I mean, they can make it work or they can't.
Yeah.
But I saw a lot of bands there when I was a kid. Saw one Life of Agony, Magnum. Remember Magnum?
Oh yeah, Magnum.
Yeah, yeah.
The guy played with Ozzy for a while.
Did he?
Songs
Yeah.
with him, yeah.
It was a great show.
Yeah, I can't remember his name now, but he had a stunt with Ozzy. I think it was after Jay Lee left. I think
Okay.
he went in. Can't remember the guy's name. He had blonde hair. Guitarist.
I don't know.
Magnum's guitarist.
But it's that thing where, I mean, it's again from music, different era, when I was about 17, 18 then, or 16 then.
Yeah.
But every week I go and see live music, and it was great. I mean,
Brilliant.
I'd get drunk, and I was probably underage drinking, but hey.
That was
But
fun.
we just enjoyed.
Yeah, you enjoyed it.
We enjoyed watching music, and it like, wow, one day I'm on stage up there, and I was, and it was like, okay, it's just another gig.
Just another gig, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, but,
been like that myself. You think, yeah, I can't wait, and then you do. You go, oh.
Yeah.
It's not really that.
It's
is
not
it?
really that.
It's not really that. Oh, right, okay.
But yeah, I didn't have a relationship with Liverpool particularly. I went to the Crazy House a few times.
Yeah.
And I know it's shut now. Well, I think it's still open, but it reopened as a rock venue for a while, and now it's kind of like it's not making the money that it used to, because obviously there's not the rock crowd as there used to be. But things change. But I don't have any nostalgia about that. But in Liverpool, certainly it seemed very suffused with Beatles.
Yeah.
It was only when I started learning guitar, and because when I started teaching, there was very few bass students, so I had to start to learn the guitar. Well, I learned through the grades, and then it's like, okay, well, let's start learning some songs. And Beatles, it's like you have a different appreciation for that music when you start to. You play Day in Life, and you're like, wow, how good is that?
You play it. You just play it.
Yeah, it's just wonderful, and you do things like, I mean, a Day Trip. You think, wow, that's a cool riff. But then other things like
Can't think.
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Learning Blackbird for the first time,
Yeah, it was a lot of
acoustically. I thought, wow, this is really pretty, and I have to teach it to the students by coming on Blackbird. I'm like, okay. So then I have to learn it first, and I teach it. So I'm like, tomorrow I'm going to do But Kaylee by Marillion.
Yeah.
I heard
Great
it.
song.
Yeah. I'm thinking, right, she's quite a good player. I'm thinking, yeah, she's learning that this week, because I really like
Two
it.
guitars in it, isn't there?
Well, it's a number of different guitar parts, so I couldn't. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think there's two guitars. One's echoey as well. There's great guitar parts.
Yeah, but it's a
definitely.
great thing about being a teacher. I'm like, yeah, check this out. She's like, oh, that's good. I'm like, yeah. One of my older students, she's quite a good player, and we're always trying to think, right, what can we do next? So I love teaching. It makes me a deeper understanding and wider range of music kind of understanding. Not that I'm very good, but I love my job. It's fantastic.
Well, it would be. It'd be a great job, that. But unfortunately, I don't teach.
It was not for everyone.
I just play.
Well, I was really bad at it when I started.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing, and kind of was late and not organised and not prepared. And then
No.
after a while, every lesson's prepared, and I know what I'm going to teach every lesson.
I mean, I've teached a couple of young lads, but it's only like mirror sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to tell them what I was playing on Blood Law. I just teach them, and then they learned it.
Sure.
But as far as your teaching goes, that's on a different level.
Yeah, it's something which again I really enjoy doing.
Yeah.
I mean, you also got to have a lot of patience.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Because the kids, they don't practice because they're 7 or 8 years old and they want to play Fortnite or play out with their mates, which
Oh,
is
that's
perfectly
obvious.
reasonable. So you just have to go, right, let's do it again.
That's
Let's
it,
do it
yeah,
again.
yeah.
It's okay. It's
You'll
cool.
get it. You'll get
Yeah.
it.
So
Yeah.
so I do love my job. But it's
Just
saying,
encourage them.
yeah, you've got to be careful. When there's something like A Day in the Life or Eleanor Rigby.
Yeah.
A beautiful song. I really like Eleanor Rigby. It's one of my favourite Beatles songs. But it's also only 3 chords.
Yeah.
So I'm wary of teaching it to kids because they murder it. So I try and pick songs that I don't like that. Yeah, because I don't practice it and they just play it awful.
Oh,
And you think, I'm not playing this again. I'm not teaching this again until they're better.
Once you're a bit better,
Yeah.
I'll teach you.
It's like it's 3 chords, but it's also some odd timings in there in terms of length of bars.
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah.
It's a great song.
Oh, yes.
Brilliant song.
But like I say, learning the Beatles is giving me a different appreciation of them
Yeah.
and so forth. And lots of bands, like I say, like, it increases your understanding and appreciation of music in that respect, which you wouldn't normally listen to. So like Dua Lipa, one of my kids wants to learn now. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, not necessarily that I buy the record, but it's pretty
No, I
cool.
wouldn't.
Or Adele, which
Adele,
do
yeah.
some of her songs, which is cool because the girls like them, like her rather.
Yeah.
So I've enjoyed teaching some Adele stuff. I'm not tried to sing along with it yet.
No.
That's something for the future.
And why not?
Yeah, sure. It's all
Well, you
good.
get them to sing.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
That's not for me. It'd be for one of my,
Yeah.
like Grace, my friend who's a singing teacher,
And
so
then,
forth.
do you know, get them to sort of, what's the other ones? No. She's huge. Blonde hair girl. Oh,
Pink.
never mind. No, Pink, because Pink's been around for a while.
She's good. I like
Yeah,
her.
yeah, Pink's great, but it's this other one that's in. She did a song with Liam Payne not long ago. Rita. It's a Rita Ora. Probably
Rita
like
Ora.
teach her stuff.
Okay, yeah. That's what
Yeah,
one of
because
the
that's those
songs.
kids are in and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I knew to get a name someplace.
You would say what we'll do is do lessons of scales and chords and technical
Yeah, yeah.
stuff. And yes, it's like right. Every student's like, right, give me a list of 5 to 10 songs that you want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
learn, and then I can go right. At the end of every lesson, we'll try and do one of your songs. So hopefully, if they're not going to practice the scales,
No.
they'll do something in the week which will hopefully
Something,
do that
yeah.
song.
Get that song.
Not
yeah.
necessarily because they're kids, but hey, that's okay.
It's great,
Yeah.
yeah. Because if you're getting them through, that's great. 'Cause that's another position coming up, and we've got to keep it going.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Or
it's
it
what,
just goes.
well, it's one of the problems that I have with classical music. And if someone starts, I mean, what I did when I was a kid, doing brass or still
Yeah.
it's brass, doing the trombone, you kind of learn your little melodies.
Yeah.
But with guitar, it's £30 for a cheap acoustic.
Yeah.
And after 2 or 3 lessons, you can play a couple of chords.
Yeah.
You can start with your first Coldplay song, so we might Chasing Cars,
Yeah.
A and D. Like, wow, I can
Or even
actually-
Yellow.
I can
even
do
easy.
something.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Yellow's cool as well. I haven't taught that one. I thought about doing it
See,
the other
there's
day.
open chords and that, so I think. Yeah. Seth, you were talking about Seth was saying that he was teaching George Ezra, and he's actually detuned the guitar or that low. I can't remember what to now. I think it's a B or something. And he's put the cap all the way down here. I don't understand it.
Well, there's
It's really weird.
Shotgun's very big at the moment,
Yeah.
which is 4 chords. That's C, F,
And it could have
G,
been
A
in that
minor.
song, to be honest, but he said it was in a weird key.
Capo 5
Yeah.
with those chords.
And
But
the guitar was detuned or something. He
This-
said,
Seth's great.
scratching.
Seth knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he does. He teaches as well.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's kind of weird. Because I started to play it, I went, oh, wait a minute, what's happening here?
The kids love it.
Oh.
Man. They love it, and then
Yeah.
they're playing, and you're like, wow, this is what you can do. You can
Yeah,
play
yeah.
along like I did with well,
Yeah.
it took months to play along with Metallica, but this is what I still do now.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah,
Well-
you can pretend that you're George Ezra, or you can pretend that
Yeah.
you're James Hetfield, which is fantastic.
There you go.
So it's just a
Yeah.
God, I love music.
So who doesn't? It's just this pours out of you, man. It's amazing. Like, it's just love it.
Yeah.
Same as you.
Yeah, I say the only hard thing for me is keeping practicing. That's the hard thing.
Yeah.
So, because you get to a certain level that you need to be at to
Yep.
play, and it's keeping it going. It's keeping doing the scales and chords and being motivated.
Yeah. I mean, it is like riding a bike. If you've known it for a while, once you get on, you might be a wee bit sticky. You'll be away again.
Yeah.
It's not like you're learning again. Oh,
Yeah.
you know, it's not like that. I think a lot of people that don't play think it is like that. If you don't play, you lose it. Well, not really. You just get a bit sticky.
Yeah, sure.
And you might get a bit of cramp that you know you don't use, especially stretches. What happened? But yeah, it's great.
Yeah. I say it's hard to practice every day. So I try.
Yeah, it is.
Also, for me, I think I taught George Ezra and Ed Sheeran and Adele all day.
All day.
Well, from 10, I think I got home at 9:30 or 8:30, something like that. So it's been a long day. I'd had break for lunch and stuff. It's been a really long day.
Well, I know that because we've been trying to interview you and you're like, at 8 o'clock, at 9 o'clock, I'm like, hey, what's he doing? You know, all day.
Yeah,
and I'm thinking that's what you're teaching all day.
Yeah, but yeah, hey, I love what I do and it does have long days. But then I came home and I put on a Toot Them On by Megadeth and nearly burst into tears because I was just like, oh, that's good.
Oh, something different. Yeah, something I can relate to.
Yeah.
Yay, brilliant.
It was just happened that it's on my MP3 file and I must have taught it at some point and not erased it.
Great.
It just came on like, wow, how good is that?
Wow.
Nothing wrong with the other songs, but that's immediately a song that I suddenly. I mean, the song isn't even that good. It's just. It's really pretty guitar riff.
Refreshing for you.
Yeah.
My kind of music.
Yeah.
Music to my ears.
Sure.
Absolutely brilliant.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of musicians are the same. It's like you need that switch off, and if you're teaching all day or doing kind of like the grade pieces and so forth, just to do something, have that variety in playing.
Yeah.
I think it's just one of the days where I didn't have any advanced players.
Yep.
So it was all beginners, and it does get tired.
Well, even if you're in a normal job, there's nothing worse. Like in a van with somebody and they're playing this music you just can't relate to all day long, and you like get you at home and put something on. Oh, that's it.
Well, I have the same with jazz. I mean, I've tried really hard with jazz.
Yeah.
But I just can't get it. I went on a jazz course, which was really cool, in the summer, and I tried to do a jazz one in the evening, and I admire it.
Oh, some players.
Fantastic. And I admire kind of some of the songwriting, but I just can't connect with it.
No.
And it therefore becomes a technical exercise, and it's like, well, I'd rather go for a run, or I'd rather lift weights.
Yeah.
Because it's not inspiring to me. I don't get the emotion.
Like you say, I can listen to it and sit there and go, wow. But to actually sit and learn it.
I mean, it's the same. I was doing the
Which
jazz.
might be the wrong attitude. I don't know. You know.
No, because you feel it or you don't.
Yeah.
It's not like I haven't given it a chance. And I was on the jazz course and it was 5 days of jazz, which was a great experience. And in one of the practice rooms, because we're in a classical music school, one of the students there was he was a saxophonist, I think, but he was playing a classical piece. And again, it's like, wow, how good is that? Just to hear something with some proper structure and some proper use of, a different use of chords and melody.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, thoroughly enjoyed it.
Like you say, done right, it's someone else.
Yeah. You can have too much.
Well, every music's done right, someone else, but I know.
Yeah. Well, I struggle with jazz. It's the only thing. I mean, obviously rap music I have problems with as well because of it. Oftentimes it lacks melody, rhythm and poetry, but that's fair enough. But also, I quite like rap as well.
Oh.
Well, it's that thing where if I got friends who are singer-songwriters, and they play the acoustic guitar, and they'll go out and they'll sing, and I have no interest in what they've got to say in terms of they're my friends. So but when they're singing, I don't know what the phrases are. I have no interest in that. I'm listening to the chords that they use. I was talking to a friend of mine about this last night. So and the problem is that you're singing, you can't play complicated because you're concentrating on singing the right words and putting the right melody in there. So for me, my brain's melting out my ears because I just want to hear some good guitar playing.
Sing.
Yeah, but I don't understand the whole vocal thing in terms of the words. It doesn't mean anything to me. Although it does later down the line. Initially, it's the melody.
Yeah.
I was listening to Crucifer today, and the song that they got. I just again never heard it before. But, your social skills remind me of arson. It's like, okay, I can really relate to that.
You're going to be arson. Everything. Yeah.
This is the vocal phrase. I'm thinking, well, I've probably heard that song 15 times, and suddenly I've just heard the lyric. And that's a really nice lyric. It's
just popped out.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'll have to
Where does that come from?
Yeah, sure. I don't even know what you're singing about, but it's my relation to
He'll
lyrics.
know.
He'll know, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Definitely.
but it's how where your ear goes to, and mine doesn't go to words very well.
What it means to him, I mean something different to you and to me, because you always do that with your song. You'll always go, I think he's singing about that, but he's not.
Yeah, but that's the key thing with Noel Gallagher talked about it. Yeah. And actually, I was telling a story yesterday about, I don't know whether it's online on YouTube, but John Lennon's at home.
Yeah.
And there's a guy there who kind of comes into his house, and there'll be all kinds of police there now, and shotguns, and
Woof.
I think George has written with a shotgun, but snipers and stuff.
Yeah.
But he invites the guy in and says, well, all your songs that you've written, John, are about me. And John's like, well, no, they're about Paul and I and our lives. And I said, no, they're about me. You know, we must have some kind of like soul connection. And John's like, no, it's not that way. But
not at all.
It was still like a cool thing. But Noel Gallagher talked about it that when he's writing the songs, he didn't want to make it about himself.
Yeah.
He wanted to make it so everyone could connect with it.
Yeah.
Like what's Wonder all about? Well, it can be about anything.
It can be about anything.
But it's that, so you can take from it, it becomes yours, you own it.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of songs about me, and certainly when, again, it's that thing where I remember I broke up with a girl, and I was heartbroken. 15 years ago, it was like the one which was really, one which was really bad, and it was a Perfect Circle record called 13th Step. Yeah. And I thought, well, he's written that about me, because I could directly connect it with it. Of course, I've never done that. And it's not about me at all. But it defines that moment in your life, and so it gets you through some tough places in that respect. Talking a lot about James Maynard tonight for some reason.
James Maynard? Yeah. That's okay.
You
talk about what you like to talk about.
Yeah. But it just seems to be on my playlist at the moment. So.
I was going to ask you who your influences are, but you sort of got there.
Yeah, sure, I mean...
But go on. Who are your influences?
I think that my first record I ever got, I think, was Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel, or So by Peter Gabriel. Yeah. I remember it was a song, Sledgehammer. Very good. Again, it's I remember I had it on a tape. I got it for Christmas. Tape. Yeah. It's one of those things where you play it.
Kids will go, what?
Yeah.
What's he talking about?
They were expensive back then, you know, as well. It's like £9, which back in like the 80s whatever would be a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I got one for Christmas. I've probably got other things as well. But that's an album that I played endlessly. Yeah. So that had... I still really like Peter Gabriel's voice. I think it's a great record. That was the first one. And then my other influences came from hearing it through the wall from my brother playing it. So Def Leppard, Hysteria and Pyromania were really big. And then Master of Puppets and Surfing with the Alien.
Albums mega.
Yeah, but again, it's always, for me, it's always hard to recognise when the time was, because he'd have it on tape, which was pirated. Yeah. From someone who must have had the vinyl from someone else in school, so it was obviously a black market. No, people just taping things off. There was no money involved.
Remember you used to be able to tape the charts and all?
Yeah. Didn't really identify with many of the artists. I mean, it's that thing you hear the radio now and think, oh, that was a really good song. But probably at the time I didn't identify it as that. No. But it was really, so Def Leppard, Metallica and Joe Satriani, Surfing with the Alien, which... Again, for some reason, you just get to hear these music. I say it's from my brother, hearing it through the wall. But it could have been something else.
Could have been someone else, yeah.
And maybe he played other music which I didn't relate to, but they're the ones that I remember and went to. Yeah. Really? Wow. And I remember a little bit later it was Guns N' Roses' Appetite, which was... right. But I liked it, but not as much. Metallica was the one that really...
Yeah, the one that sort of
grabbed me, yeah.
Different guitar working, especially the puppets in the middle, and then a Braxton. I remember when I learned that, I was like, "Whoa, that's a bit difficult." That was brilliant, man. And for the guys to come up with that back then, it was just great.
Yeah, I mean the young guys in the mid-20s coming up with stuff, playing around time signatures and so forth. And
then the slope, and then the hill band goes with it. It's like, yeah, get in.
Kills.
And then,
and the mid solo, you know, with the really kind of like that. They were like, you know,
yeah. Oh, it's brilliant, man.
Yeah, a little bit. I think that was something fantastic.
That was just, something else.
And it was, I guess, for me, it was also the first introduction to kind of real musicians. Previously, you'd be at the top 40 guys, other than Peter Gabriel, because Tony Levin's a wonderful bass player. He played on that, I mean, actually, we had like a raft of wonderful musicians on, so
Yeah, definitely.
Stuart Copeland did the intro to, I think it was Red Rain.
Yeah.
I don't know if you played anything else on the entire record, but you got the intro.
Yeah, the intro.
But I didn't recognise it, and then at Hearing Puppets, it was kind of raw compared to the quite polished 80s stuff.
Yeah.
And kind of, wow, I mean, these lyrics have actually got some meaning which I can connect to a certain
Yeah.
degree. Even though I didn't quite know that Puppets is about like drugs. And I mean, I'm 13, I don't know what any of that stuff is really. And Battery is about someone killing his family. Just
Yeah.
like, but I didn't connect with the lyrics.
You didn't know, you just...
Yeah,
just
it's
loved
just
it.
like the melodies sound cool and
Yeah.
the lyrics sound cool, whatever they're about. Obviously, they're quite dark subject matter.
Oh, yeah.
It's only later that I kind of realised what they're all about.
Oh, you're on about, chop your breakfast or remember.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think
You're going, what's that about?
Yeah.
Yeah, we know now.
Yeah, I mean, Sanitarium, it was very clear about what that was about.
Yeah.
But it's not something that I can relate to being in an asylum particularly. But it was still cool
Yeah,
lyrics.
yeah, yeah.
And, hey, why not? The thing that should not be is obviously, I remember reading that was from H.P. Lovecraft novel.
Yeah.
And I read H.P. Lovecraft, and I actually read the one about, I think it's In the Mountains of Madness, which is the one about the thing that should not be. And it's an okay story, but it's kind of going a bit OTT fanboy there, so I'll shut up. But Left the Messiah and Disposable Heroes, but being a sort of, Left the Messiah being about TV evangelists and so forth, and Disposable Heroes about being a call to arms or anti-war song to a degree. Nothing I could relate to as a 13-year-old boy.
Yeah.
It was still fantastic. It was the music that I related to.
I think it was the same when I first heard it. I didn't listen to the lyrics. It was just what was going on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Huge energy.
Grab that. And then, as you get to know the song, the lyrics sort of come in.
Yep.
Wasn't that what you're singing?
Well, it's also that thing where the first time you hear it, it was background noise. And
Yeah.
fourth, fifth, and then maybe after 10, you're like, hang on.
Really
start
listen.
to pick things coming out. You're like, the song starts to develop in your own mind. Because compared to someone who's listened to something which is pretty top 40, hearing Master of Puppets is kind of a head rake.
Breakdowns and...
It's like, it's like listening to Rush. You're like,
And that
that's
wee
a
breakdown. It's just amazing. And then you're talking, that was back in the 80s, it's like, poof.
Yeah.
They don't really write songs like that now.
Yeah, but it's that thing where you have that record of one time of those four musicians coming together and creating something very special.
Unless you go to a band like nowadays, like Dream Theater or something, that's a way for it.
Yeah. But Dream Theater, I mean, I admire them, but I don't listen to them particularly.
I like one or two of those songs. Don't get me wrong, they're fantastic players.
Yeah.
Out of this world. But yeah.
But that's fine. I mean, that's another thing I say about musicians. You can be the best musician in the world, but can you write a good song?
Yeah.
I was teaching Imagine yesterday by John Lennon.
Yeah.
And obviously John's playing. I don't know what kind of pianist John was. I'm assuming that he wasn't as good as Paul.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But it's really simple chords.
Yeah.
Dun, dun.
Bumps and
Yeah, I'm not.
and they basically used it in Oasis as well, similar.
Oh yeah.
Don't
Look Like an Anger. It's got that. It's
like,
C major
there's a big
seventh.
rip off there, but
Why not?
yeah, it was good though.
If you're going to rip it off,
and then they come with the guitar. It was great.
But unashamedly ripping them off.
Yeah.
And if you're going to rip off anyone, it's good to rip off them. But it's that thing where you looked at it and you think it's quite simple chords.
Yeah.
You think, write a song, couldn't he?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I do.
So I think that some like guys in Dream Theater or like you get Dragon Force and stuff.
Yeah.
You admire them as you admire them
know.
as musicians, but you think, well, can you write a better song, please? I mean, could you do that? But it's like, well, no, they have a certain style of music which I very much admire, which is very technical.
Yeah.
But songwriting perhaps isn't their forte.
Yeah. Well, I remember Carly Moore saying something about, if you do an amazing solo, it doesn't make a good song.
Mm.
You need to write a good song.
Yeah.
Not just, oh, there's a solo, that's brilliant. Well, the song's a load of shit. You need to write a good song, and then a good solo.
Yeah.
Whereas he says, there's a lot of your bands out there, crap, and the solo comes on, you go, oh, yeah, listen to that. And then it goes back to, oh, turn off. You just push it forward to the solo, he says, whereas you've got to try and write a good song as well. So that's getting back to that as well.
Absolutely.
Can you write a good song? Just because
It's
you can
hard.
play with your skin doesn't make you saying you're going to write a good song.
Absolutely. And John didn't write good songs all the time, but sometimes it comes together,
Yeah.
kind of the stars align, and
just
write a little piece of magic, you know.
Wow, look at that.
Sure. So it's that combination of things. I think that
Definitely.
it was just the right time, and I was lucky that that album resonated with me so much.
Yeah.
So that, say, has been a constant source of inspiration for me for the next 25 years, whatever it's been exactly. And it still sounds great today. I mean, Metallica have had their ins and outs, some good records, some bad records, good songs, some bad songs, but that album stands up.
It does, really does.
So that would be my main influence, I think. Peter Gabriel as well. I'm looking at some of my CDs there, a lot of them are packed away. Paradise Lost were a really big thing for me. Again, for me it was a late night TV show called Raw Power. I used to video it because it was on like 2 in the morning or whatever. And it had different music videos.
Yeah.
And Crusher Jewel, who I'm kind of not friends with, I've met. He doesn't know who I am. But he used to introduce it and stuff.
Yeah,
and he used to work for Kerrang back in the day as well.
All right.
But he got sacked from that from probably drinking too much or whatever the exact story was. It's there on his website. But I did a music video called Ember's Fire. I'm like, wow, that's fantastic.
Wow.
And then, again, CDs were really expensive. And there wasn't a black market in Paradise Lost records. No. So I had to go and save up with £20, getting a lot of money from a little job to go and buy the album. And I followed them ever since through their kind of career as well. And they've been a major influence in, I wouldn't ever no influence in my playing, but just a band that I've really enjoyed listening to again and again. Different styles they've gone into over the years. Kind of gone through like a Depeche Mode phase, which was cool.
I think bands have sort of got to do that. They sort of recreate themselves and then maybe go back to what they were.
Unless you're AC/DC.
Of course, because Metallica's even done it. They've skittered off and now they're sort of back to where they were.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm not keen on the latest record. I don't think the Hardwired's very good. Yeah. But again, it's that thing you will be judged by the strength of your previous albums.
The thing was quite mad. The Jail, the one, what was it called?
Anger.
That was mental.
Yeah.
It was a mad album.
No, I mean, it's weird. It's I quite like it. It's very angry though.
Oh, it was an angry. I think that was when they were going through that period where they were all angry at each other and they done that. What was that show?
Yeah, they did some kind of monster, which is
that was
the film.
Crazy, that man.
Yeah, I mean, it's very honest kind of look at you're looking at the band and so forth.
Well, it was mainly Lars and James, wasn't it?
Yes.
Their heads.
Different personalities, but also guys.
But now they're.
Yeah.
Well, they seem to be.
They seem to be.
He lost his hair.
Well, that happens to us all eventually.
No Samson anymore.
It's all going grey, but so yeah, I mean, Paradise Lost. I think, also they want to be Tool.
Tool, great.
So,
I always remember you being into Tool.
Yeah.
I think you went to see them, did you know?
Yeah, I've seen them a few times.
Yeah.
Always a great live experience.
Me too.
Drummer's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're all again, they're musicians who are really, really good.
Yeah.
But also write good songs.
Yeah.
But also the albums take a long time to get into because it's kind of proggy, but they repay you in terms of you put the time in.
You do the time in, come and see us, it's going to be good.
And it's something again which is again like Metallica. I mean, I keep coming back to. So hopefully, I'm doing an MA in music and music performance, and that's what I want to do a Tool song. I did one last time for one of the performances. So I want to do Tool again. He's way better. I mean, he's just a phenomenal player. Justin Chancellor, he's from London, I think, as well. But he's a level above the ability, let's say, of the guys in Metallica.
Yeah.
The way that they write songs.
It's different, yeah.
It's very different. It's that thing like it's an AC/DC. Can you beat Highway to Hell or Back in Black? Because I teach quite a lot. It's like, how good is that?
Yeah.
Is that better than Lateralist? Well, I don't know. That's where it becomes kind of tricky.
Yeah.
But anyway, again, we could talk about that kind of stuff all day.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's too bad, it's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, I say it's the band Anathema. Liverpool band. We're playing in a couple of months in Liverpool. It's going to be cool. So they're from the same kind of area as Paradise Lost and My Dying Bride, which I like the vibe that they do.
Yeah.
So yeah, but as with, I'm sure with you, if you look through your CD collection, it's just
it's everything.
Yeah, and massive memories as well of different times, and every song means something. I like a lot of classical music as well. Just background, but I can't get into Mahler, which I've really tried. I've got one of my students, his dad is a massive vinyl guy.
Yeah.
So I teach the kid who's about 13, and he's for an grade 2 player, just learning about music.
Yeah.
Like, he likes Bon Jovi and stuff, which is cool. So we do some Beatles, but in the room itself, there's just a wall of vinyl, which is fantastic. And but he's a big classical guy, but also we've got things like by Jay-Z and Radiohead, so he's quite an eclectic collector as well in that respect. Lovely fella. And so he gave me like this complete work of Mahler, and every time I go around to teach his son, he asked me about, how's it going with Mahler? And I was like, it's all right. But I haven't quite understood it yet. And it's that thing where maybe if I listen to it again for hours and hours and hours, I'm going to understand it.
You're gonna.
But do I want to put that kind of time in?
No. Possibly no.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But
you never know.
Yeah.
You may do. So we got any other influence for one?
I think as that's probably about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always struggled, I think, but I'm just not good enough to put the time into that kind of playing.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Again, because it doesn't resonate with me.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend hours and hours learning Birdland. Although when I hear it, I think that's fantastic. Yeah. Undoubtedly a magnificent player.
Oh, wow.
I mean, Pino Palladino is again someone that I admire. He's playing a lot.
Oh, he's a great player.
But I like him more than I ever did HUGHROCKO, just because I like the music more.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of great bass players around the pop music in the 80s and stuff as well.
Well, there was, yeah. I mean, Victor Wooten's a hello player.
Sure, but I get.
But you don't really know what he's.
No, I admire his playing.
Oh yeah.
You know, same with Marcus Miller.
Yeah,
again, the Hill is a great bass player. Yeah, wonderful, but I admire it from a distance rather than going, oh, that's something that I really want to learn. I think I'm wrong. I'd love to be that good.
Yeah.
But
that thumb box unbelievable, man.
Yeah, I've tried to start bass, and I get so good. I'm like, I just don't.
He flicks up the way as well.
Double thing.
Oh, what's going on there?
I don't know. I admire the fact that it's flashy, and that's cool. To be a good performer, you've got to be thinking of putting in some kind of like.
A bass player that I really like
flashy,
is Tal Wakelin, the girl who plays with Jeff Beck.
Okay.
Oh my God, what a player! Plays with Jeff Beck. She's got long curly hair. Tal.
I'm not sure.
Oh my God,
Does
you got
that
to check
mean-
her out, mate. She gives it a... She's an amazing player.
Yeah.
You'd have to be good at playing with Jeff.
Oh, well,
And
absolutely.
then you got Vinny on the drums. You know,
Yeah.
unreal. She gets a wee soul and you just go... Not because she's a woman. Could be that as well. But, you know, she's put the time and effort in, obviously.
Yeah, sure. You can tell this one's the real deal.
She plays all this jazzy stuff and it's like...
I think I was thinking of videos.
Oh, if you saw her,
I'm not
you'd
sure.
know. You'd be like, woof, what a player.
Yeah.
But she's just always smiling and down the air, and it's like, cool, really cool bass.
Sure. Yeah, but I'm going to say in terms of influences, actually, in terms of that as well. I mean, a lot of guitar players. So Joe Satriani again was something that I learned back in the day. I mean, as a guitar player, which I'm not really much of one, I kind of got as well as doing some of his finger picking stuff. Was double tapping stuff like I can play Midnight.
Yeah.
But again, it's like I'm not willing to put the effort in to be as good as Joe, and who is. But I really like his music though.
I know how to play the Joe. I steal a couple of things off him. I like his slide, and then I still saw that sort of and I steal some stuff, but a lot of his scales, I never learned them.
Sure.
I'd probably pull them off, but probably fucking hell. But yeah, I stole a lot for Joe, I must admit.
Yeah.
And I stole a lot for Zach Wilde. Who even stole?
Yeah.
Stole for the 80s guitarists, and put them all together, and it becomes.
That's it. You take an influence from what's it becomes you, whatever that is, that mishmash of influences.
This is what I'm saying. That's what you do. You just. And this solo, I'm not going to play like him. I play like him and him. I don't play like him. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
you know it yourself.
Yeah, we're playing in lots of different bands. It's everyone has different influences.
And some of Joe's stuff just wouldn't fit in some bands anyway.
Yeah, sure.
You're not going to be playing Maniac and say, "Oh, dear, Joe Satriani solo, it's not going to work."
No.
Well, it does to an extent because there's a wee but then it stops.
Yeah, sure.
You couldn't just keep going unless you wanted to.
Well, it's trying to put your imprint on it, but not
Yeah,
going
yeah.
too far.
But no, it's like a few guitarists from Liverpool that I know, and they're shit hot players, and they'll do comfortably numb, like Satriani, and seem to get away with it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
They start off right, and then suddenly, blah, they're away. You're like, oh, that's a bit different.
Well, I mean, I guess that's better. Either you do it.
Yeah,
Bassist
bang
original,
on, yeah.
or change it up.
This is what they tend to do. They'll do it, and then they're away, and then they'll come back to it, and then they're away again, and then they'll end. Right, and it's like, okay, you've made it yours.
Yes,
But some Floyds will die hards will go, right. You know what? There will be. You
No,
won't
I
get
can
it.
understand that.
But it's
Especially,
not.
again, if you've got that relationship with the song, which
Yeah,
can probably none as well, because it's the solo itself is
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because you'll get a Floyd, you could get a Floyd fan just sort of give you that. What? It's like changing the lyrics, you know.
What about Sweet Child of Mine?
Yeah.
Because that's a song which I mean, a lot of cover bands seems to play, right?
Never played it, believe.
Have you not?
On
We
drums.
did.
On drums.
On drums, do we not do it?
No, we never done it. I played it on drums. I've never played it on guitar.
Regardless, hear it a lot.
Oh yeah.
But and obviously I played bass on it a lot, but I've never learnt the guitar.
Hmm.
But obviously it's like
It's repetitive.
it's three solos.
Yeah, there is.
Do the guitar players do it note for note or not?
Some will do. I've
Do
had
they?
some guitarists playing it. The guy who played in this, Cube, I don't know what his name was now, was one of them.
Mm.
He played it note for note. But I think a lot of guitarists will play the main notes,
Yeah.
and then when he starts fleashing, you know, as I call it, when you can sort of do your own bit there, but there is notes that stick out a mile. You need to put them in,
Okay, so
or it's wrong.
Alright, fair enough.
So it's like Hotel California. They bends and stuff need to be there.
Yeah, that's good.
And then when it goes, you could actually maybe go, you can start going, you can do it.
Yeah, but the Hotel
You
California
can
one
if you
again.
want to.
Yeah, the Hotel California one, I would argue, and that's really good. That's a
Sure,
solo,
yeah.
solo that I would teach in.
Oh,
That
it's
it's
amazing,
recognisable.
But if you wanted to change it, you could.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the final countdown, right? You know how it goes.
Mm.
Now, Key Marcello, the second guitarist in Joint Europe, was far better than the first one, John. And when he plays it live, the bit that goes, he goes, he's all over the shop, and it's like, that's a different level.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's different with it.
Yeah.
He doesn't play it, as he calls it, the ballroom way. But it's still, the way it was done first was more like a sort of, I would say, a Richie sort of Blackmore way.
Yeah.
Because that's what remembered me when Europe came into the charts with that song and I heard the solo, I went, that's what the Richie Blackmore. And it did.
Okay.
Whereas Key Marcello was more of a sort of Aldo Meola, like Francis Dunnery kind of player. He's got all that scales going on, and so he changed it.
Okay.
But he plays the main thing, but when it comes to this, you know, he'll go, and he like, show off. You know what I mean?
Fair enough, where he's on stage,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
showing off, yeah.
And he does it, and it's like, yeah. And then he's brought out an album, because he obviously was part of Europe when he left, and it's on the album that way.
Okay.
And it's wow. Yeah, but there you go.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Very
So-
sweet. Yeah.
So your influences. Are
Yeah, but so in the same usual things like Megadeth and,
Yeah, yeah.
and Pantera and all that kind of stuff. But
great.
yeah, although
Definitely.
I don't like the bass player from Pantera very much. I read his biography,
Yeah.
and he's
I
just
don't
not.
know much about him, to be honest.
He's
It
just not.
was always Dime,
Yeah. Well,
Vinny,
yep.
and Paul. You know, you never really.
He's the quiet one.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you look at Pantera and that went south, Rex did his own book, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I admired him as a bass player. He was pretty much always doubling what Dime did, but
Yeah.
that's hard anyway.
Yeah.
And because he was always quiet in interviews and so forth, he kind of shunned the limelight to
Yeah.
an extent. When reading his book, I actually go, you read someone's biography,
Yeah.
it's an autobiography, you wrote it himself.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I don't actually like you very much.
No, I feel like, you know.
You just kind of, maybe he bitches about the band members too much. I'm like, no, that's not,
Yeah.
he doesn't seem like a very nice person.
No.
But hey.
Hey. Okay, so I'm going to ask you, what gear do you use? You're going to say here.
Here.
So,
Well, I've always used, this is my acoustic bass.
yeah. Boing. Yeah, here it is. I remember
So, yeah,
this one.
this is my status.
Yeah, I
and we're
remember
buying
that.
this.
I remember that.
And I've bought other basses, like there's an Ibanez 6-string there.
Yeah, yeah.
But I've always just used this one. I haven't found it's better, really.
I've seen you use it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it cost a lot of money when I bought it.
Yeah, I bet you.
I had it set at, KGB on the world.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
So I sent it there.
Set a few nice stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he's really good, and putting in some fluorescent dots for me and giving it a nice setup over the years and so
Yeah.
forth. But I've never found its equal.
No.
So I mean, status basses themselves are just wonderful pieces of kit.
Brilliant.
So
It is.
I mean,
Every time I've seen a photo of you with your bass, it's all that.
yeah.
I'll see you with that. I've
I've
still got a photo of you with the bass as well.
Yeah.
Doom.
Sure.
Lovely bass.
I know quite see point. It sounds great.
I mean, I love that. I always loved the purple going into the wood and
Mm.
it's a bonny bass. That.
Yeah, it's a good looking thing, but it's still a bolt-on, but it's still very expensive if you want to buy one.
Yeah.
And it's active. I
Active,
think
yeah.
from playing rock and roll as well, the 5 strings needed.
Yeah.
Although 4 strings, I don't really care. But yeah, to
Get that
avoid the
bottom,
down tune
yeah.
as well. Well, if you get to, say you're playing the B, it's just too low.
It's too low.
You can't really hear the B. Yeah, it gets lost in all the drums.
Yeah.
But for playing in D, which you do quite a lot of different songs,
Yeah.
then it's perfect.
Right. Great.
So I've got the 6-string Ibanez.
Yeah.
I've got a 4-string Samick, which was like my first.
The Samick.
Yeah, I think they were Japanese.
They are, yeah. They're very rare nowadays,
Really?
Samics.
I think I bought it for its colour actually.
Yeah.
More than anything, it's a bit dusty. I've
Oh,
not
nice.
played it in 4-string 4, but it's nice and light.
Well, isn't it? Yeah, the Samick, yeah. You don't see many Samics nowadays.
Yeah, there are, but I used that in quite a lot of gigs.
Yeah.
And when I was first starting, you can see the groove from my thumbnail there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then basically with the guitars, I've got an acoustic bass as well.
Yeah.
They're all kind of working guitars.
Yeah.
So I've got a semi-acoustic, classical. I've got like a Gibson copy, and I've got a Frida, which is the one that I only teach with.
Yeah.
Which I think I bought from Dawson's for like £60, and
Wow.
serves me very well. And I've
It
got
does the job, yeah.
ukuleles and half-size guitars for the kids who've
Yeah.
forgotten theirs. So I'm not a heavy gear user in terms
No.
of instruments. They're things which I do to you
Yeah.
for my job.
For your job, yeah.
So I don't have an emotional
Is that
attachment.
a Mark Head or?
So yeah, I got this bought from a friend of mine, Mark Bass. It's one of the original ones with a valve
Yeah.
sound, so
Nice.
it's really good. And I did have
Yeah.
I had a Laney amp for a long time,
Yep.
which is 300 watts, which was fine, but it's really hard to lift.
Oh.
And I got
Yeah.
small money, and I thought, well, I'm going to invest in 4x12
Yeah.
and a head. I think it's one there on it, so it's also kind of not top of range by any means. But I didn't get any play with it once because it was so heavy. Getting a 4x12 out of the car in the head, I'm thinking, where am I playing? Well, I'm playing pubs and clubs. If it's big,
Yes.
bigger venue, I'm going to go through the PA anyway.
Yeah. Well,
So-
that's what it is there.
So really, I'm wasting my time and trying to get it live on the top floor of the building. So trying to get it upstairs was just ridiculous.
Nightmare.
So I've got this Ashdown, which
Yep.
is 4x8, I think,
8, looks like 8, yeah.
which gives me 600.
Yeah.
And I've got this little Marshall, which is for practicing, because
Yep.
obviously the guy downstairs gets upset when I wake
When he
him up.
drills.
I've got my Line 6 guitar amp behind that.
Yeah.
So that served me very well,
Good.
and I would like to get a replacement because it's still quite heavy.
Yeah.
I'd like to get a Mark Bass cabinet of some
Yeah, they're
description.
nice, the orange speakers and stuff.
Yeah, but purely, I mean, for me, to say,
Used to be what the other bass players are using now. Well, don't say all the bass, say maybe pro bass players that are in bands. I see a lot of them using the Mark gear now.
yeah, sure, it's
That
very
sounds
popular.
amazing.
Yeah. Well, I heard a friend of mine
I
playing.
suppose
I'm
it's
like,
like
wow, how good is
proving
that?
Trace Elliott nowadays is what it used to be back in the 80s.
Yeah,
You know,
still get some traces. Yeah, traces were the ones to get back in the day.
amazing, man. But they were heavy, you know.
I've
I mean, the guy from
I've
the
never
country,
moved
the guy's playing with the now Scott Hello player, because Tony's left the Scott player, and he's got his stacks. It's like, you know, it sounds huge.
Well, that's fantastic.
Bang, you hear him. You know, it's just like he's got the 410s and I think it's an 18 on the bottom, and I think it's a 1,000 watt head. Flang,
No, fantastic.
unbelievable. You know.
Oh, actually, while we're here, I'll show you another guitar I got.
Yeah.
One of the strangest days I've ever had of teaching, I'm going to tell you about.
Strangest days.
Yeah, so, obviously, I'm a guitar teacher.
Yeah.
That's my primary job.
What's that?
So, I've got an email through saying, live nearby, guy's retired, wants to have some bass lessons. He used to be a guitar player, but he's got arthritis.
All right.
And went to teach him, and he gave me this, which is a IAX or something. And I think you kind of plug it in. It's got some kind of
Oh, wow. That's different.
yeah.
I haven't seen a guitar with a USB on
Yeah.
before.
Well, it must have been kind of that technology move forward, and it was kind of like, that'll be something gimmicky. And you know, I mean, it's actually one I have next to my desk. So when
And it works.
I never tried any of the technology out.
No.
I'll sit there and
Noodle.
noodle.
Yeah,
And I'll when I'm preparing lessons, this is the one that I'll learn the song.
I would like to find out what that USB does. That's strange.
Yeah. Anyway, he gave me the guitar. He said, "Look, Paul, I'm not going to use it. I'm going to stick to bass."
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Can you use it?" I'll take your guitar.
I'll take it. Yeah, definitely. Hello.
So that was a fabulous lesson, right? Lovely fella. And I say, really, I mean, it's probably a piece of chipboard, but does the job. Free guitar, same day. Had another lesson booked in. Not far from here, on Smithstown Road. And he had two. He had a brand new Gibson.
Yeah.
And a really nice acoustic, I forget its name.
Yeah.
And I'm teaching him just the basic stuff, right? And it's this guy who's having a shaved head. And I think we're just doing like the basic finger patterns.
Yeah.
And he starts sweating, and his sweat starts pouring down his head. I'm like, mate, just take it easy.
Take it easy.
Because he's starting getting really angry. Oof. It's the first time in 10 years I thought, nobody knows where I am.
Yeah.
And I started looking around and going, this flat's been newly decorated. It's all new carpets, there's magnolia walls. Because when you go into someone's house and you teach, they have a lot of memorabilia of themselves, pictures of their wife and kids, or husband and family. I'm thinking, this is newly decorated, and why is this guy here? Nobody knows where I'm here. That was the only time I've ever been actually a bit unsure where I've been. But it was just weird because it was the same day.
Yeah.
In one respect, it wasn't necessarily a bad lesson, but I was like, we'll have to leave it there because I think that you need to just take it easy because it's upsetting you. So I managed to get out of there and everything. But that was like the only time I've ever felt like a bit worried about.
Well, yeah, get me here.
I mean, the kids are horrible.
Oh yeah.
I got called Jesus today, which I think is
they're not gonna.
Not very nice, but
they're not gonna help you though, you know what I mean? Well, this guy, get me out of here.
Yeah. No, so it's one of those weird things. Now, I feel I was actually given a guitar.
Yeah.
So you know.
Great.
That's a bit actually. But yeah, so I've never plugged it in, but this is one which I'll learn all the stuff in because it's next to my desk.
Yeah, it's sitting there, so you're just going to play it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Even if it's in between thinking, I forgot what guitar the other one was. It's all about. So yeah, that's my equipment. But I say I don't go hardcore on gear. I mean, in terms of pedals, I've got a Cliff bit and wah pedal, of course.
Yep.
I like Cliff.
You would.
Yeah, it's a wood. The signature wah, which is really cool actually, because it works as a fuzz, and I just like the sound of the wah. I've got a delay pedal from, actually it's here.
Yeah.
Which I use a lot, because I like the sound of the delay.
Yeah.
And I've got a multi-effects thing from Digitech, which I haven't used that much, and of course I've got a Boss tuning pedal. I think that's about it. I use a delay pedal as well. No, a loop pedal.
A loop?
Yeah. So I'm trying to be creative, but
I'm gonna get your Ed Sheeran on.
He's good at that.
Yeah, well, you're either good at it or you're bad.
Yeah. I struggle with patience. I'm not a very patient musician. And, I'm a teacher, but when I'm playing, I'm not. So I get frustrated quite easily.
You're like, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, these loopers, you've got to be spot on with them.
Yep. And then
if you miss the pedal, it's gone. It's no going to come back again, is it? It's the moment gone.
I had the Boss one, which was red, but I sold that. That was too complicated.
Yeah.
So this one's one recommended to me. It is a lot simpler.
Yeah.
But I've yet to master it.
You just have to keep practicing.
Yeah.
Just go until you get it right.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Well, yeah, I'm working on a new jazz course at the moment. Well, kind of mastering some different kind of arpeggio shapes and stuff from a guy that was online called Scott Devine. He does online bass lessons. Yeah. So I'm enjoying going through having a teacher again. That's really cool because he's a magnificent player, and it's just nice getting lessons again.
Yeah.
Working with it's all online, by the way.
It's all online, yeah.
Friends, but being challenged again and having a certain progression of
playing. Skype or something.
It doesn't do individual lessons, so he'll send you learn this for the
week. Right, yeah, got you.
Which is cool. So that's working okay as long as you've got to follow through and make sure that you get the studying done. Otherwise, it's not going to get any better.
It's not going to get better.
Yeah, but it's also playing that stuff. I'm going to say I'm looking over there because that's where my can you see it on the wall?
Yep.
It's got all. It's basically arpeggios. They're just working around in C major and 3 different shapes.
Yeah.
C major, C minor, then diminished, and so forth. So yeah, that's why I'll be doing that tonight.
Good.
Yeah. And sonata
over there as well.
Yeah, that's a sonata in G minor by Bach that I need to master, which I can kind of play, but it's dirty. It's not clean.
You not got it off.
I'm not playing it well, so
No.
yeah, I need to keep working on it. But anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So what inspires you to keep doing what you do?
Well, I mean, certainly with the kids and all my students, well, I shouldn't call more kids because they're not a lot of adults. Someone will say one of these Sweet Caroline, which wonderful song.
Yeah.
Everyone sings Sweet Caroline, and then you learn it, and you go, "Wow, what a progression that is! What a wonderful song!" Again, it brings another side of things.
Yeah.
To teaching, I'm like, just incredible. So then I teach it for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
So that's inspiring for me in terms of finding out about old music, which becomes
Yeah.
new. Or what was I doing this week as well? I mean, I do imagine a lot, but I was doing an Elvis song. I Can't Help Falling in Love with You.
Yeah.
Again, it's really simple chords. It's
Yeah.
got a nice B7 in there, which we need to include more in my lessons because it comes up quite a lot of B7.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a preliminary great thing. And so I'm teaching us a really pretty song with great orchestration. There's just so much music out there, and dealing with these students who don't know anything
No.
is fantastic because they're like, well, let's play this. I'm like, well, I've never heard of it. Let's get it done.
Yeah.
So constantly being challenged in that respect by the kids, or students rather, is really cool, and that inspires me. And also that thing when they kind of, I don't know, you teach them that kind of like one of the first riffs, like,
Yeah. Oh, they get it.
they're like, what's that? I'm like, that's Whole Lot of Love, that's Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
And the kid's, he's 8. He's like, that's the coolest thing ever, isn't it? I'm like, yeah, let's do it again.
Yeah. Let's do it again.
I've really done that because Smoking Water's actually got a little bit harder, so I tend to do that.
Yeah.
And they really like it when they go. But they really enjoy that. They really like that.
I love it.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, let's do something more of that. So we'll be like, I don't know, soon. They'll really love that. Yeah. And so again, it's seeing the joy that they have.
The joy they have, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because I think that again, it's that thing. If someone's 14 or 15, they already have it.
Yeah.
They've already decided that music's going to be
That's what they want
a
to
big
do.
part of their life, whatever it's
Yeah.
going to be. So in that respect, my job therefore becomes very easy. It's just a matter of teaching them the
Yeah.
songs. It's when they're 7 or 8 years old and they don't know anything about music particularly, and suddenly they hear like Whole Lot of Love or even something like the White Stripes. They're like,
Yeah, yeah.
no, I mean, it's like,
Oh,
wonderful.
what's
You're like, all right.
I want to play that.
Bloody do that again. I get a bit sick of it, but yeah. So that's what's really inspires me to for my teaching. And just being involved in music. I say, in terms of bass players inspiring me or other musicians, I mean, I do see friends who are in bands still going out and working hard, which I really enjoy. And
I enjoy that myself, even though I'm not playing. You see someone playing, it's like, yeah.
well, they're getting up there and doing it.
Yeah.
I think that when I was a teenager or in my 20s, I was trying to be rock stars, but guys now in their 30s, 40s, 50s, a band, friend of mine, Snatchback, who are a AC/DC band. I think they've all retired. Yeah. But they just love AC/DC so
they just
much.
love playing.
Yeah, they're going to get out there and do it. It's like, wow, that's fantastic. You know, why can't they do? Why can't they do it on a Saturday night too? Pretend to be Angus Young.
Yeah,
what a fabulous hobby to be, and you get paid.
That's it. And you get people liking it as well.
Yeah, sure. You're entertaining people. You're having a great time on stage. So yeah, I mean that again inspires me. I mean, I'm inspired a lot by athletes. My friends who are all like. Because I do a lot of training. You're doing that, yeah. But what I mean, as I mentioned, talked about it earlier, is something like there might be a friend of mine in the States or in Wigan or whatever who, for the first time, get their first pull-up or muscle-up or whatever, and you think, what an achievement that is! The effort that they put in to achieve something is always something that I admire. And the great thing about social media is being able to share that with other people. Yeah, definitely. Everyone's achieving something, then it's great. So I'm inspired by lots of people in that respect. You're inspired by every sort of thing that you can see. Yeah, I mean today, like I gave one of my students, he got a merit in his grade 1 acoustic guitar. Yeah. And he's like, Paul, I'm gonna get 85 next time. Make sure I get a distinction. I'm like, yeah, let's get it done. Get it done. Let's focus on it better this time. Yeah. Because you went through the examiner's comments and it's like, you're a bit slack there. He's like, yeah, I know. So right, well, all right, we're gonna really nail it down and get it done this time. So. I'm always inspirations everywhere when you're involved in teaching music. Yeah, it's there everywhere. Yeah. Great.
Brilliant.
Inspired by you as well, Akil.
No, I am not.
Actually, yeah, because again, you're doing something different.
Something different.
You could just sit home and watch YouTube videos and be there with
yeah,
them.
do nothing.
But what you're doing is actually going out there and talking to musicians. But you're providing, there's no money involved. You're giving up your time, you're asking questions. You enjoy it, but also you're providing a service, and that's inspirational. To do something for other people. Yeah. I think it's cool.
I'll enjoy it as well.
Yeah.
Because it lets you don't just go, well, that's Paul that plays bass, and that's where it ends.
Sure.
He goes him. Now people are getting to know how you got to play bass and how you enjoy it, and funny stories that you've had in bands. That's the next question.
Okay.
so we'll get to that question now. Have you got any funny stories from bands that when you played in them?
When I played in a band quite recently, a Sabbath cover band, and I was on the way to the gig, and I nearly got there. It was nearly Northwich. We were playing. A place called the Slow and Easy.
Okay.
It's an old bikers bar. It's really cool, really good venue in Northwich. Yeah, you know it, yeah?
I've no.
Okay, if you get a chance to go there, and a guy who runs it, Stephen Lamb and his wife, really cool. Just very open to live music. So live music every weekend, which is a dying thing, really. I think.
Yeah, it is, but
which
keep it going.
That's the way things go. But anyway, I thought I've forgotten something. And so I got just before the turn off to the motorway, and I realised I felt behind me because I haven't got bass in the back seat of my bass. So I had to drive back.
Oh no.
And then of course when I walked into the bar, I got slow clapped. Because I was late, which I deserved, but that's something I've not forgot.
I've left my bass.
Yeah, because always when I'm loading down from the flat, it's kind of like my bass is a really valuable thing. I mean, everything's valuable.
Days left.
Yeah, so I was thinking, right, I've got my bass and my coffee, because I have coffee when I'm driving. And so I must have just rushed out without it. So that was bad. I remember a time actually when I was in university, and because watching your other videos of people saying crazy stories.
Yeah.
And this was one which probably one of my most embarrassing times. I mean, it's one of the times when I've been on stage, which my friends still remind me of when I was too drunk. That's long ago. I don't drink before I play now, but I was at uni, and I think I'd gone out that night, the night before.
Yeah.
And I was at uni, I was like 18, and I must have got absolutely smashed. I must have come home and cooked spaghetti or something. And I don't know if I was too drunk to eat it or something, but I must, at some point in the night, I must have sat on the plate that the spaghetti was on and not noticed it. The only thing is, the next day I had a gig.
Yeah.
And I put on the same jeans I'd worn, but I didn't remember.
Yeah.
I didn't notice, because obviously it was on my bum.
Oh.
So the worst thing was, I was sat in the crowd, because it's like a bar, all round tables and stuff. And then the band called me up to play, so I had to walk through the whole crowd with kind of tomato juice and spaghetti hanging off my bum the night before. And that's always something which has haunted me, because everyone started clapping, and then it all kind of faded away as I got to the front of the stage.
What's happened?
Yeah, my mum's like, Paul, your jeans smell.
What?
But hey.
Me tease on them.
You finished the gig. You play, and this is when the gigs where I've been sick. I've vomited on stage before. So not from drinking, just because I was really ill, but gigs a gig, you've got to get a play.
You've got to get a play there.
Yeah, so there's obviously gigs as well where bands haven't turned up, or been late, or you have things, obviously technical issues.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I also played gigs where I haven't really known the songs that well.
You play gigs where the guitarist is in the wrong key, and his guitar's tuned to a different tune for us.
That was you and I.
It's really difficult to get through, because what the hell is going on?
I've never quite worked out with that one, because I remember we were playing, it was In the World, wasn't it?
I remember what happened.
Because
I tuned his guitar to D or something.
Hadn't we played the night before?
Yeah. And he went in and changed his guitar strings, but they were in D. So when we fired up, we were in normal standard, and he's in D. It was like, what's going on? But he's playing the right chords, obviously. And
I remember some young lass down the front watching, kind of going.
Yeah, and Vicky's trying to sing over the bubble. He's going, what's happening? I'm just sitting going, something's not right here.
Well, again, always with these things, what I try and do is when I make a mistake at gigs, and is to say, right, what can I do next time to make sure that it doesn't happen again? And making sure, like with losing my bass. It's the first time I've ever done it, I've forgotten it. But you can see it over there, I've got a toolkit.
Yeah.
And then it's things like gaffer tape and tuners
You
and
need stuff
cables
like
and mic cables. And what I did, I went online and I think it might be in Guitar World, my guitar magazines, saying musician's kit of stuff that you will need. And you couldn't buy it all at once.
No.
But over time, you assemble a toolkit of stuff that you need. Picks, strings,
everything.
And I'm always amazed that I go to still now, I go to gigs and it's like, well, like we played the Swinging Arm recently.
Yeah.
With the band that I was in. And the guy who booked the gig, a member of the band who shall remain nameless, hadn't checked out what equipment was there. So they're like, well, we need to mic up a kick drum.
Yeah.
And we need a microphone. But I've got a microphone and a cable and a spare cable.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like, well, come on guys, if you want to be in a band, you've got to be more professional. And it's okay to forget stuff and okay to not have equipment. But you shouldn't twice or 3 times, you've got to learn from this.
Learn from it,
well, there's a constant battle as a teacher and as a musician to go, how can I do what I did better? To constantly evaluate, right, make sure you've got a piece of kit, make sure if you don't know that song that well this time, and you're not sure of that change, make sure that you nail it.
Yeah.
And alright, maybe you can't do it, maybe you need to buy 2 spare leads or an XLR cable, but you can't do it constantly, that's not good.
Yeah.
And the thing is that I'm learning from my mistakes as much as I can, so I always evaluate where did I go wrong in that song. Was it just a thing where I wasn't thinking, in which case I need to pay better attention next time for that to change, or do you actually not know the song well enough? Do you need to reevaluate and go through the song a lot of times to make sure that you really know it? To be better, to improve. I think that I've been very much guilty of being lackadaisical about my performances in the past. But now it's like, well, I'm always trying to evaluate, let's do it better, Paul, let's get better at what you do.
Get what you're doing,
yeah. And constantly be on that path of improvement, with equipment and with my playing as well. Say it's that thing, I got a wireless system recently, and that's I've really enjoyed playing that.
You can do what you want.
Yeah.
Get further out and
yeah, so it's a part of the performance.
It becomes.
Yeah, again, it's
definitely.
Looking at how can I be a better performer. So I wear a top hat, for instance. And I thought, well, that's okay. Again, it's part of the show. Well, let's wear a kilt. Why not?
Why not?
It gives more of an impression of a musician. Not that you do it necessarily for every gig, but for a rock and roll band, that's great.
Yeah, why not?
And so on and so forth in the wireless system, and you develop as a performer as well in that respect.
Yeah, definitely.
But hey, again, that's a whole different skill set in terms of what are you going to be doing when you're on stage. I remember when I first played, and I was too nervous to actually put my lead in. I was shaking because I was really scared. And I think my first gig there were a couple of hundred people there.
Yeah.
Just because it's one of those nights where
nervous.
I was really nervous. I was really we were playing covers.
But you're still nervous because.
Yes, but it's like doing anything for the first time, or the 10th time, or the 20th, or 100th.
But even if I had to go back to it now, I'd still be nervous. No nervous as in, I want to go home. Nervous as in, I just want to go on and get it done. And
sure.
That's still nervous.
But that's good.
But you went on. I've got that, I went on, but you still sort of, go. And then as soon as you go on, and it rang, yes, like that.
Who was it? Who's the very good, who's the boss? Who do you call him? Springsteen. He's talking about, before he went on stage, that he'd hear the warm-up band playing where it was on beforehand at this festival, and it was kind of like, right, the band start getting ready, and he'd start feeling nervous, right?
Yeah.
He's like, well, it's like I feel like there's electricity inside me, because my heart starts start breathing shallow, and then I'm getting nervous, am I going to remember the lyrics, am I going to remember how to play, and I hit stage, and it's like, and he plays his show. And there's another lady who, I'm not going to, the interviewer didn't give her name away, so you have to guess. Someone who hasn't performed in a lot of years. I think it might be Kate Bush.
Okay.
She was like, well, but I'm not saying that I don't know that.
No.
But she was like, well, before I got on stage, I'm about to perform, I get really nervous, and I get like this electricity inside me, and I can't breathe and stuff. I'm like, I'm not going to play. So she'd walk away from stage, and she couldn't perform anymore. She didn't perform for years, which is why I think Kate Bush, but I don't know. It could be any female performer. So it could be a bunch of people. But how your body, your mind controls your body,
Yeah.
but you've still got to remain in control and get out there and hit it.
Yeah.
So eventually she got over it. I said, I don't know where it's kick push, but that's a different story, and one that I relate to the kids a lot about. Before you're on stage, yes, be nervous.
Be nervous, yeah.
It's absolutely fine. You shouldn't just walk up there and think like, oh, I don't really care.
No.
But maybe this is not being stage if it's like that. Because it's something important, you're doing something important, you're entertaining these people, you have and they sometimes paid money to be there to come and see you, and they deserve a good show.
They do.
And do your job professionally, as much as you
enjoy
can.
it as much as you can.
Yeah, but you should be feeling nervous, absolutely.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But don't let it control you. But it's easier said than done.
Yeah, it is, yeah, definitely. But I think it's excitement as well, and nerves, and then it's great.
I don't know about you, I usually think about something else.
Yeah, I usually just can't wait to get on. It's the hanging around waiting to get you nervous.
Sure.
If you had just turned up and done the sound check and then 10 minutes later you were on, you probably wouldn't be nervous, you're probably just too quick. But because you're sitting around, you tend to go, oh, I want to get on. And you get a bit nervous.
Yeah.
And then once you're on, you just need to go.
Yeah.
Especially if you can't see your audience. You know, there's a lot of lights and you're just playing,
I don't mind that,
I don't mind seeing the audience either, but you know, it'd probably be better for newbies if they weren't able to see.
Sure.
Because then you just play.
I remember, I'll tell this story, one of my first times I guess being on stage as such, as a bingo caller in Rill, a little place called Talaka. This doesn't exist anymore. Well, Talaka exists, but the bingo hall doesn't exist. And you call bingo for an hour, and there's a team of 5 of you, you do an hour on, an hour off, an hour on, an hour off, and you'd work it out for the day. And I remember I was 18, maybe 17, and I was nervous because I'd never called bingo before, but I'd been working there for a week, so I got to know all the ins and outs of all the Two Little Ducks and Sweet 16 and Key of the Door 21 and all the phrases and how it goes. Which I remember I was waiting all day to finally get my chance to, I didn't want to do it because I wouldn't get paid any more money to actually go and do the calling, because the rest of the time you were making drinks for people and even in change and stuff, you were there kind of helping out the punters as such. But I remember she was like, right, Paul, you're on. I was like, boom, just sat down and got on with it. So I've always tried to do that when I've been playing, is try and think of something else. I usually go for a walk and even if it's on my phone.
Turn your mind up.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's always that thing when you're nervous, you're like, why are you nervous? Because you're thinking about it, it's not going to change anything. And you could get nervous when going to school today to teach. Like, what's going to happen when I walk in there? And all the kids are going to be horrible to me, and they're going to shout at me and call me names, and they do anyway. And suddenly it becomes a big thing when really, I don't care, it doesn't really matter. Right. So I think it's the same thing when you're going on stage, just to go, right, don't worry about it, just go. But that works for me. I think everyone else has, people have rituals and stuff. But,
I don't know, I just turn up, set the gear up, sound check, and then, and like you say, it's just sitting around waiting.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah,
because you want to get on and play.
Yeah, definitely want to go on. And so sometimes I think to myself, is it nerves or is it just excitement? And it depends on the crowd as well. If it's a rowdy crowd, you might get a bit nervous because they're rowdy. But is that because you're them or because you're rowdy? You know what I mean?
We have great gig. When it's a rowdy crowd, it's a great gig.
Oh yeah, it usually is.
Yeah.
But when you're sitting out and waiting, you tend to be, and once you get on, I would not.
Yes,
if you get a crowd that's just sitting like that and they're not interested, you're like, but then, it's the way some gigs are.
Yeah, you can never tell. I mean, certainly when I've been in tribute bands playing like in, say, northern towns and cities and so forth, I mean, there's some rough places that we've done. Yeah. But usually the rock crowd are pretty good.
Yeah. Yes, they are.
But I say it's we have some fun events playing, and there's been fights and so forth.
Oh, you get that everywhere. You can get that in the best pub.
Yeah.
And then you can play the worst pub and there's nothing. There's no fight.
Well, having a fight, I always think it is always good fun. Yeah. As long as we're watching it.
Well, as long as we're involved there.
Carry on, yeah.
As long as the guitars are going over their heads and you said vicious, whing, you know. Yeah. So watching it from the stage is kind of, well, here we go.
Well, one of the things it's difficult, when you're difficult and you're setting up and there's someone that's been drinking there all day.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, just get out of the way.
Before you even get your gear set up, hey, you can play this, can you play that? You must know that. What do you mean you didn't play that? You're rubbish.
Well, that's when I found pretty much every musician I work for, they're
Yeah.
usually lovely, mellow guys or girls, but when people are getting their equipment out,
Yeah.
someone's in their face, that's when they turn. And they're like, yeah,
Yeah.
they're not nice anymore.
No.
Which is fair enough, because if you hundreds and thousands of pounds worth of equipment, and the drunken person or inebriated is just trying to be friendly.
Yeah, oh, very. They are really, but it tends that you can't
Yeah.
set up because they tend to get on the stage and, oh, can I get a shot? No.
Yeah, they're not reading your body language very well.
Can you just like, no. The word would be off.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean?
No, I don't think I've ever punished a punter.
No. Well, we'll come with that horrible question that nobody likes. Have you ever been fired from a band?
Yeah.
Because there was a couple other questions, but you've answered them. You've actually just,
Okay.
So we're going
Yeah, I've
to
been fired.
You've been fired.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's personality issues usually.
Yeah, that's what usually. There's no usually the musicianship. It's usually because.
Yeah, which is oftentimes you can see it coming.
Oh yeah.
And you understand it. It's always also a good indication for me that I've stayed in the band too long.
Yeah.
And I'm in there treading water and not pushing myself.
Yeah.
And the band has a different philosophy.
Yeah.
I've had my own part to play. Sometimes I've been committed enough to a band.
Yeah.
And I've done it anyway to go, oh, there's something to do. And then it's like, Paul, we want someone who's more committed.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but I mean, I haven't really got any enemies from bands that I've been sacked from. I mean, I think that sometimes, I've also done the same thing with other people where I sack people.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think there's a right way to do it and a wrong way.
It's never nice.
Yeah, it wasn't pleasant because...
Yeah, well, the wrong way to do it would be you. But the best way is probably it's just not working out.
Yeah.
Like Ian said, it's never been fired. I mean, he said, like, when I asked Ian, he said, well, people seem to think I've fired people. No. I just said, look, I don't think it's working out for us. And you're not really falling out with them. Some of them still may take it that way.
Yeah, well, it certainly hurts. I mean, it's happened.
I mean, I've been fired in my day from one of my best mates up in Scotland.
Right.
And he sat greeting while he was telling me because I wasn't getting on with somebody else in the band. I was like, well, it's life.
The only thing, I mean, I got sacked fairly recently from a band that I was in, and the only thing I didn't like about it was, it's like, be honest.
Yeah.
Don't be telling me that it's about me not looking like the person that cover band, because that's just bullshit, right? That's a lie. So, and it's like, well, okay, well, we want you to play exactly the same music. Well, you never said that. If you want me to play exactly the same bass lines,
yeah,
let me know.
Let me know, we'll play it.
Oh, well, you were late a couple of times. Well, okay, that didn't affect things. If you're saying it's about late, you're saying that be on time next time, Paul.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's like, well, we want a bass player who's going to be able to get to gigs and travel.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, where is he going to live then? Because I live near you already, so he wants someone who's further away so we can get to gig. It's like, tell me the truth.
Just tell me the truth.
But the truth is that it's just not happy with me being in a band, and I completely understand why.
Yeah.
But I don't. Honesty, it may hurt.
Yeah.
But I'd rather have that than
I'd rather have the honesty than lies.
But also, I mean, the person who sacked me, would they be like, well, actually, I want you sacked because you're taking the limelight away from me?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And it's like, that's a hard thing to admit.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it is that way because he's probably got his own story on that. But
Yeah.
I was a little bit angry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fair enough. I've got no problem with going. But yeah, so I think that when I've done it as well with other people, it's time to be honest with them.
Well, time to be honest, yeah, it's not working.
It's not working out, or let's say you haven't got a car, and I'm picking you up for every gig.
Yeah, there's that.
And it's adding me on 45 minutes, well, an hour and a half effectively. Or you're drinking too much.
You're drinking too much or something.
Play, or you're not taking this seriously enough. Yeah. Etc. Etc. So there's lots of personalities. People do music for lots of different reasons.
Yes.
I think that even with like a cover band or a tribute band, although you're doing it for the money, that's secondary to actually being on stage performing.
Yeah.
You actually want to be up there playing and showing off and having a good time. And the money's a bonus.
The money's a bonus, yeah.
Yeah, but I think in an original band, it's more complicated because there's no money involved.
There's no money. No, you need to be earning money to.
Well, I was watching Henry Rollins talking about it. He did his latest album a few years ago, and he said that he put everyone on the payroll. Yeah. Because he says, well, the thing is, the drummer's probably not going to write a song. No. But without the drummer, he said even put the sound tech on the payroll, so
Yeah.
everyone got a cut of the money. So it's split 7 ways or 6 ways, whatever it was precisely. Because if we earn $100, you know, everyone's going to get $15 or $20, whatever exactly it is. But if we earn 100,000, everyone gets a cut. But that's not why I'm doing it. Because if we do earn 100,000, and we've got the best record we can, everyone's invested in making it a great record. Yeah, because you work in the band, it's like, well, there's a problem I have as a bass player, probably as a drummer, is that the singer or guitar player or both will say, right, we write everything. Yeah. So we're taking all the credit for it. And it's like, well, okay, well I'm kind of along for the ride then. Yeah. I played with a girl. So yes, working with a singer-songwriter a couple of years ago, and played a gig and it wasn't fabulous, but the first gig it was okay. But you know, you learn the songs and so forth, and did the show. And she was like, well, what do we do next? I'm like, well, I think I'll have to call it a day. She's like, why? Well, because it's your thing. Yeah. And I don't want to, not that I don't like your music, but I don't want to give up my time and my effort for something where I know that, because I knew her, I'll be dropped like a cold. Yeah. I'll be dropped like a bad habit. Like a bad habit. Yeah, yeah. As soon as she found someone that could take her to the next level. Yeah, got you. And I just felt that there's no kind of band community in here at all, and you've got to trust your band members. Yeah. And it's no problem working with someone who's saying, well, I'm writing the songs, I get the credit. No. Fair enough. But I've got to trust you that my time and effort is going to be, I don't expect a monetary reward. No. Absolutely not. But that I'm part of the team. Yeah. Where really I don't because I don't want to be always feeding someone else's desire to be a rock star or pop star or whatever. When you got to be part of the team, yeah. And I think when Henry said that about his band sharing it 6 ways, even with the sound guy, I thought, that's a great idea. Great. Because so many times it's like, well, the band is one person, and you've got all these people that play. Yeah. And I was in a band called Sounds of Lamps, which Kaya, he's a great musician, good friend of mine. And we had lots of other musicians that would come and play, but they weren't invested in the music as much as I know what you mean, they could have been. And I always thought, well, how could we have done it better where people were more committed? So when Henry said that, that resonated with me. So again, it's always that I'm always learning about how we can, or how I can be a better musician, how a better performer and so forth. So when I hopefully don't get kicked out of as many bands. No, definitely. You know, and I think as well, one of the reasons that if you join a band which you're not that into, which you just kind of not bothered about, it's like being in a relationship with a girl or a boy, and you're like, well, I don't really care, but it'll do for now, and it's like they're going to get onto that sooner or later. Yeah, definitely. So don't do it. Don't do it. Do something that you really want to do. Yeah, definitely. I've always said that when you get to the stage where you're not enjoying it anymore, it's like, okay. Yeah. Don't fall out with the people, just leave. Sure. Just say, let's have to go. Yeah, I was in the latest band, which I haven't been sacked a long time, but I got sacked because I was marking time. Yeah. And it was the right thing to do. But I say I've sacked other people, so it's all fair on level more bands. Well, I think it's us now. So thanks for letting me do this interview, Paul. Yeah, man, it's been a pleasure. And let's talk about myself for like an hour or whatever it's been. Good. So, all the musicians out there, just keep playing. Just keep playing, definitely. The world's a better place with us in it. It is, for sure. Yeah. So, till the next time on HUGHROCKO Interviews on Location, he's been Paul Reay. I've been me. Peace out, people. See you later.